You're being lied to every single day. Your boss, your colleagues, your friends, your partner. Not always with words. Most lies aren't spoken, they're performed with body language, micro-expressions, behavioral patterns. And if you can't read these signals, you're operating blind. You're trusting what people say instead of what they reveal. That's how you get manipulated. That's how you lose negotiations. That's how you choose the wrong people. Today, I'm teaching you how to read anyone instantly. Not magic, not pseudoscience, dark psychology, the behavioral patterns that reveal hidden intentions. It's the gap between what people say and what they actually mean, between the face they show and the truth they hide. Everyone performs. Everyone wears masks. Dark psychology is learning to see through them. Historically, this was a survival skill. In Machiavelli's time, the Italian courts were filled with betrayal. Alliances shifted constantly. A smile could hide a dagger. Princes who couldn't read people died. So Machiavelli taught them to watch behavior, not words, to trust actions over promises, to detect deception before it became assassination. The same principles apply today. Your workplace is a court. Your boss is a prince. Your colleagues are courtiers. Everyone has hidden agendas. Everyone performs loyalty while calculating advantage. If you can't read these dynamics, you're the one who gets betrayed. You're the one who gets fired when you thought you were valued. You're the one who trusts the wrong partner and wonders how you missed the red flags. The red flags were there. You just didn't know how to read them. Now you will. There are 3 levels to reading people. Level 1, body language, the physical signals people can't fully control. Level 2, micro-expressions, the brief flashes of real emotion that leak through their mask. Level 3, behavioral patterns over time, the consistency or inconsistency between what they say and what they do. Most people never get past level 1. They think crossed arms means defensive. They think eye contact means honesty. That's amateur hour. Professional reading is pattern recognition across all 3 levels simultaneously. Let me break each one down. Level 1, body language. Here's what most people get wrong. They think individual gestures have fixed meanings. Crossed arms equals defensive. Leaning in equals interested. Touching face equals lying. This is bullshit. Body language isn't a dictionary, it's a language. Context matters. Baseline matters. Clusters matter. You can't read one gesture in isolation and know what it means. Here's how you actually do it. First, establish a baseline. How does this person normally behave? What's their default posture, their typical energy level, their usual eye contact patterns? You need to know normal before you can spot abnormal. Spend the first few minutes of any interaction just observing their baseline behavior. Second, look for deviations from baseline. If someone who's usually relaxed suddenly gets tense, something changed. If someone who usually makes eye contact suddenly looks away, they're hiding something. The deviation is the signal, not the gesture itself. Third, watch for clusters, multiple signals pointing in the same direction. If someone crosses their arms, leans back, breaks eye contact, and their voice gets quieter all at once, that's a cluster. That's real discomfort. One signal could be random. 4 signals is a pattern. Fourth, context is everything. Crossed arms in a cold room means they're cold. Crossed arms after you challenge them means they're defensive. Same gesture, different meaning. Read the context. Now, let me give you specific signals that are harder to fake. Feet direction. People point their feet toward what they want to approach and away from what they want to escape. If you're talking to someone and their feet are pointed toward the door, they want to leave, even if they're smiling and nodding. Their feet reveal their real intention. Watch feet, not faces. Pupil dilation. When someone is interested, their pupils dilate. When they're disgusted or uncomfortable, pupils constrict. You can't consciously control this. It's automatic. This is why poker players wear sunglasses. Their eyes give them away. In conversation, watch for pupil changes when different topics come up. Dilation equals genuine interest. Constriction equals discomfort or deception. Neck touching. When people feel vulnerable or caught in a lie, they unconsciously protect their neck, touching the throat, covering their neck, adjusting their collar. This is a self-soothing gesture that reveals discomfort. Watch for it during tough questions. Lip compression. When someone presses their lips together into a thin line, they're holding something back. They want to speak, but they're censoring themselves. This happens right before someone is about to lie or right after they've said something they regret. It's a micro-tell that reveals internal conflict. Barrier behaviors. When people feel threatened, they create barriers. Crossing arms, holding objects in front of their body, putting furniture between you. These are protective gestures. If someone does this when you enter a room, they see you as a threat. Useful to know. Level 2, micro-expressions. These are brief flashes of real emotion that appear on someone's face for a fraction of a second before they suppress it. Most people never see them because they last less than half a second, but if you train yourself to look, they're everywhere and they never lie. Micro-expressions are involuntary. You can fake a smile, you can't fake a micro-expression. Here are the big ones. Contempt. One corner of the mouth raises slightly in a sneer. This is disdain, superiority, hidden disgust. If someone flashes contempt when you speak, they don't respect you. They might be polite to your face, but internally they think you're beneath them. Act accordingly. Fear. Eyes widen, eyebrows raise, mouth opens slightly. If someone flashes fear when you bring up a topic, that topic is a threat to them. Even if they immediately compose themselves and act confident, you saw the truth. They're scared of what you might know or do. Disgust. Nose wrinkles, upper lip raises. This is visceral rejection. If someone flashes disgust when looking at you or discussing you, they fundamentally reject you. No amount of persuasion will change this. Move on. Anger. Eyebrows lower, eyes narrow, jaw clenches. Brief flash before they suppress it. This person is angry but hiding it. They're pretending to be calm while rage is building. Don't trust the calm, trust the micro-expression. Versus fake surprise. Real surprise is symmetrical. Both eyebrows raise, mouth opens. It happens fast and fades fast. Fake surprise is asymmetrical, one eyebrow higher than the other. It lasts too long. When someone fakes surprise, they knew what was coming. Here's how to train yourself to see micro-expressions. Slow down. Most people look at faces too fast. They glance and move on. You need to hold eye contact longer. Watch the face for at least 3 to 5 seconds when someone is speaking. That's long enough to catch micro-expressions. Focus on the eyes and mouth. That's where most micro-expressions happen. The rest of the face can lie. Eyes and mouth leak truth.
Practice with video. Watch interviews or conversations on YouTube at half speed. You'll start seeing micro-expressions you missed at normal speed. Once you train your brain to recognize them, you'll see them in real time. Level 3. Behavioral patterns over time. This is the most reliable level because it's the hardest to fake. Anyone can control their body language for an hour. Anyone can suppress micro-expressions for a meeting, but no one can maintain a false pattern over weeks or months. This is where you catch liars. Watch for consistency between words and actions. If someone says they value you but never makes time for you, the action is the truth, not the words. If someone promises loyalty but gossips about everyone else, you're next. The pattern reveals character. Words are cheap. Behavior over time is evidence. Watch for pattern breaks. When someone who's been consistent suddenly changes behavior, something shifted. If your normally punctual colleague starts showing up late, something's wrong. If your usually communicative partner goes quiet, they're hiding something. Pattern breaks are investigation triggers. Ask what changed. Compare behavior in different contexts. How does this person act around their boss versus their subordinates? Around you versus around others? If their behavior changes dramatically based on who's watching, they're performing. The real them is whoever they are when they think no one important is watching. Watch how people treat waiters, janitors, subordinates. That's who they really are. Track promises versus delivery. Do they follow through on what they say they'll do? Not once, consistently. 1 kept promise is courtesy. 10 kept promises is character. 1 broken promise is circumstance. 10 broken promises is who they are. Keep score. Not out loud, in your head. You'll quickly see who's reliable and who's performing reliability. Now let's talk about detecting specific lies. When someone is lying, their cognitive load increases. They have to remember the lie, keep their story straight, and suppress their real emotions. This creates tells. Here are the big ones. Over-explaining. Liars give more details than necessary. They think excessive detail makes them credible. It doesn't. It reveals anxiety. If someone explains something simple with 5 minutes of detail, they're trying too hard. They're lying. Inconsistent detail. When you ask the same question twice, a liar's story changes. Small details shift because they're creating fiction, not recalling memory. Truth-tellers are consistent. Liars contradict themselves. Ask the same question different ways and watch for shifts. Defensive aggression. When you question someone and they respond with disproportionate anger, they're covering. How dare you question me? That's not offense, that's deflection. Honest people answer questions calmly. Liars attack the questioner. Distancing language. Liars subconsciously distance themselves from their lies. That woman instead of my wife. The meeting instead of my meeting. It wasn't me instead of I didn't do it. They create linguistic distance because they're uncomfortable with the lie. Listen for this. Timing delays. Ask a simple question. If there's a pause before they answer, they're constructing. Truth is instant. Lies require computation. Did you cheat on me? Instant no is probably true. 2-second pause, then no, is probably false. Time the gap. Grooming gestures during key statements. When someone touches their hair, adjusts their clothes, or fidgets right after making a key claim, they're self-soothing. The claim made them uncomfortable because it's false. Watch for grooming right after important statements. Now let's talk about how to protect yourself from manipulation. Because everything I just taught you, manipulators know this too. They're aware of these tells, so they train themselves to suppress them. That's why you can't rely on body language alone. Here's what you do instead. Trust your gut. Your subconscious processes thousands of signals your conscious mind misses. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't ignore that feeling because you can't articulate why. The pattern recognition is happening below consciousness. Listen to it. Verify claims independently. Manipulators rely on you trusting their word. Don't. If someone makes a claim, verify it. Check the facts. Ask others. Do your research. Trust but verify. Always verify. Watch how they treat others. Manipulators are selectively charming. They're kind to people they need and cruel to people they don't. Watch how they treat people who can't benefit them. That's the real person. If they're charming to you and dismissive to the waiter, you're being played. Notice love bombing. If someone is unusually charming, unusually giving, unusually attentive right away, that's a red flag. Real relationships build gradually. Manipulators accelerate intimacy to create dependence before you realize what's happening. Too good, too fast is a warning sign. Test their boundaries. Say no to something small. Watch how they react. Healthy people accept no gracefully. Manipulators get angry, guilt you, or withdraw affection. Testing reveals character. Do it early. Document everything. Manipulators gaslight. They'll deny saying things they said. Having records protects you. Keep emails, screenshot texts, take notes after important conversations. When they say, "I never said that," you'll have proof. Documentation is protection. Now here's your action plan for the next 48 hours. Choose one person you interact with regularly. Watch them with fresh eyes using what you just learned. Establish their baseline behavior over the next few days. Watch for micro-expressions during important conversations. Look for inconsistencies between what they say and what they do. Document what you notice. You're not being paranoid, you're being observant. Second, practice on yourself. Record yourself talking. Watch for your own tells. Where do you look when you're uncomfortable? What do you do with your hands when you're nervous? Knowing your own patterns helps you control them and helps you recognize them in others. Third, watch one interrogation video on YouTube. FBI interrogations are public. Watch how professionals read people. You'll see everything I just taught you in action. Fourth, test someone this week. Ask a question you already know the answer to.
Watch how they respond. Do they tell the truth or lie? Notice their tells. This is calibration. You're learning to read this specific person. Next week, we're going deeper. Wednesday, I'm breaking down the 7 psychological triggers that control human behavior, the buttons manipulators press to make you comply. Friday, we're covering how manipulators gain control and how to stop them before they hook you. This is week 1 of Influence and Manipulation Month. 4 weeks of dark psychology, social dynamics, power games, digital manipulation. This is neo-Machiavellian psychology, ancient tactics applied to modern life. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Subscribe and hit the bell. You miss one video, you miss critical knowledge. Comment below one person you're going to start reading differently after this video. Not their name, just their relationship to you. My boss, my partner, my colleague. Let's see how many people just realized they've been missing signals. This is Dominate Daily, where ancient wisdom meets modern warfare. Now go watch the people around you with new eyes. You'll be shocked at what you've been missing. Dominate Daily.